I'll bring the Butte-Silver Bow Council of Commissioners Committee of the Whole meeting to order for Wednesday, January 29th, 2020. Can we please have a roll call?
We have 9 present, 1 presiding, and 2 absent.
Okay, please let the record reflect Commissioner Frederickson and Anderson are excused. Commissioner McDonough, would you please lead us in the prayer and the pledge?
Almighty God, we implore you, look upon us and guide us this night as we make decisions which so greatly affect our community of Butte-Silver Bow. Direct our thoughts, words, and deeds so that we please you and best serve our fellow citizens. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on tonight's agenda is any public comment on any items that are on tonight's agenda. If any member of the public would like to speak, now would be your opportunity. Okay, seeing none, report of the chair. I don't have anything to report. Moving on to section 1, communication 19-140, Ed Vanderob, resident of the Greater Butte-Silver Bow community, requesting Council of Commissioners request the Chief Executive to designate an appropriate entity to conduct a survey, prepare a feasibility proposal and recommendation relative to a green container biodegradable waste management program to complement the present landfill composting and alley rally programs. I believe the Chief Executive's office is working on this, so we'll continue to hold this in abeyance. On the question, Commissioner Sorich.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think Ed just wanted to say something real fast.
Oh, Mr. Vanderob.
Ed Vanderob, 2601 Grand Avenue. I just wanted to find out why it was on the agenda first, if you don't mind. First, I would like to thank the council and the Butte-Silver Bow Chief Executive for moving this request forward. We did have a meeting with the composter, the trash collector, NINCAT, who are willing to promote it. I would like to explain to those of you who consider this too trivial of an issue to be brought before the council that there is an ulterior motive for this request. During that meeting with the composter, they informed the group that they need more biodegradable waste to convert into compost to supply the local vegetative environment enhancement restoration programs and projects. This is the first step in getting widespread community awareness and participation in providing and using biodegradable waste to enhance the vegetative environment, to cover up those hundreds of acres of exposed granulated granite that contain low-grade heavy metals, so as to minimize human exposure to the hazards to human health, heavy metals, contaminants present in our community, thus making Butte a safer and healthier place in which to live and work. So I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vanderob. We'll continue to hold that in abeyance. Going on to number 2, communication 19-443, Eldon Beal, citizen requesting Council of Commissioners authorize the Chief Executive to amend and include the Emma Park BSB County Code of Ordinance, Chapter 9.16, park restrictions, and to include penalties and or fines. The Parks and Rec committee did meet on this, and so we're just waiting for their recommendation as it comes back to this body. So we'll continue to hold this in abeyance. Number 3, communication 19-466, Eric Mankins, Commissioner District Number 9, requesting Council of Commissioners authorize the Chief Executive to discuss a change in the zoning ordinance requiring community residential facilities as defined by state law to obtain a conditional use permit within Butte-Silver Bow County in all residential zoning districts, including R1, R2, R3, R4S, and RC. As you guys will recall, we moved this to the county attorney's office to introduce the resolution, so we were just waiting for that to be introduced to this body. So we'll continue to hold this communication in abeyance, waiting for that resolution. Any questions on that? Okay. Moving on to number 4, Communication 19571, Greeley Neighborhood Community Development Corporation, requesting Council of Commissioners authorize the Chief Executive to form a Butte-Silver Bow Hazardous to Human Health Heavy Metals Contaminants Task Force. We'll continue to hold that in abeyance as the Chief Executive is working on that as well. Communication 19572, Mike Cerise, President of the Lady of the Rockies, requesting Council of Commissioners consideration in acquiring a portion of the county-owned parking lot between St. Mary's Church and the Federal Building. The Lady of the Rocky owns one part and the diocese owns the other portion, which we have just purchased. We as in the Ladies of the Rockies. Commissioner Shaw, we did have a communication on this last week.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would move to cross-reference Communication 19-572 with Communication 2020-23 and place this on file.
Second.
Okay, there is a motion made and seconded. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, would everyone please vote? Would anyone like to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
We have 10 yea and 0 nay.
Thank you. Motion passes. Moving on to number 6, Communication 19578, Gary Rundle, citizen, requesting Council of Commissioners consideration to purchase property located at 1820 Banks, Butte, Montana. I wish to redeem the property from Butte-Silver Bow before the tax sale in February. We'll continue to hold that in abeyance pending the resolution that is being drafted. Number 7, Communication 19581, Patsy Coates, Property Specialist, requesting Council of Commissioners approval of the tax deed public auction to be held on February 5th, 2020, and to request the County Attorney's Office to prepare a resolution to be read and acted upon the same night as the tax deed public auction. We will continue to hold this in abeyance pending the February 5th date. Number 8, Communication 19582, Ed Banderob, Greeley Neighborhood Community Development Corporation, requesting Council of Commissioners to invite a Montana DPHH toxicologist to give a presentation relative to the hazards, risks to human health, and heavy metals contaminants present in the Butte-Silver Bow community. I did receive an email from Ms. Sullivan today, and she indicated that they will be doing a presentation on March 4th, and she will be submitting a communication to this body here pretty soon. So we will continue to hold that one in abeyance as well. Number 9, Communication 2020-04, Michael Townsend, citizen, requesting Council of Commissioners to consider the repurchase of my home located at 105 West Porphyry. I will comply with all the rules and regulations of the Community Enrichment Program. We'll continue to hold that in abeyance pending the resolution from the County Attorney's Office. Number 10, Communication 2020-15, Mark Neary, Public Works Director, requesting Council of Commissioners to authorize a bid opening on January 22nd, 2020 for a 12-yard dump truck, plow truck, and sander for the TIFID. We did hold this bid opening last week, and we didn't place this on file. So, Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would move to place Communication 2020-15 on file.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded. Is there anything on the question? On the question, Commissioner Shaw.
And just a clarification, this also showed up in the Public Works Committee inadvertently, and that will also be taken off of that list as well.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, would everyone please vote? Okay, would anyone like to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
We have 10 yea and 0 nay.
Thank you. Motion passes. Number 11, Communication 2020-26, Nakia Green, Remedial Project Manager, UPS or US EPA, Region 8, Montana Office, requesting Council Commissioners' time on the February 5th, 2020 agenda for a brief presentation regarding EPA's review of the recent cross-section pilot study in Butte and Columbia titled Meconium Identified High Levels of Metals in Newborns from a Mining Community in the U.S. We'll continue to hold that in abeyance pending the February 5th date. Number 12, Communication 2020-46, Michelle Shea, Commission District Number 2, requesting Council of Commissioners consider establishing a process providing for the sale. It should be disposition, not deposition, of real property during the period between a first tax sale auction and a second tax sale auction. This would require that the county attorney prepare and introduce such a resolution as provided. As you guys are aware, the county attorney is working on this resolution. Ms. Joyce is absent tonight, so we'll continue to hold this in abeyance. If anybody has any suggestions, feel free to email her and she can put that into the draft of the resolution. Again, keep in mind that we will go through that resolution in this body in the committee of the whole. So it will be coming to us shortly. Anything on the question? Okay, continue to hold that in abeyance. Number 13, not number 3, Communication 2020-48, Josh O'Neill, Commissioner District Number 7, intends to make a motion of reconsideration of Communication 2020-04 from the council meeting on January 8th, 2020. As you guys will recall, we did take action on this communication, but we did not just place it on file at the end of it. So, Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to place Communication 2020-48 on file.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Okay, would anyone like to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
There are 10 yea and 0 nay.
Okay, thank you. The motion passes. Last item on tonight's agenda is any public comment on any public matter not on the agenda. If any member of the public would like to speak, now would be your opportunity. On there, Commissioner Sorich.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to know what we can do to stay till 11.
What's that?
I want to know what we can do to stay till 11.
Well, I see Miss Sullivan is in the back, and so I could maybe ask her to talk. So, moving on, ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, anything on the question? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Don't forget to leave your laptops.
Yeah, please leave your laptops for IT, and they can update them.